if you look at the raw stat line. He's still showing patience. He's still making solid contact. He's showing a little bit of power, more doubles power. I think at some point they got to stop the Bobby Dahlback and Franchi Cordero experiment and bring up Tristan Casas, right? Don't they have to do that?
Well, they're in second spot right now.
Wow.
Yeah, it floored me when I took a look at the standings today, but they're up in second right now, and they're beating Cleveland today 6-2 on the road. Yeah, I think what they have to do is they have to start making decisions that are for the best of the team. And I really don't think Franchi Cordero and Bobby Dahlback are the answer right now. Despite the fact that Casas is not having a great year, you're looking at Franchi Cordero at 228. Okay. Bobby Dahlback finally got up to 200 today. Yeah, well, it actually was a little bit above 200 because he's 0 for 2 today. Jackie Bradley Jr. today, 215 on the season, 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts, 5 left on base. You just can't. You got to roll the dice and got to start taking some chances. It looks like they've got their bullpen straightened out, though.
Yes, as the great John Dean asked the question on Friday. Yes, I think you're right.
Yeah, it only took them 2.5 months. They can't wait another 2.5 months before they straighten out their offense. And it needs some work. It really does. But now they're in a spot where, hey, a playoff spot is in sight. It would be a shame to not work towards improving your squad. And I don't think with Cordero and Dahlback, their squad is going to improve.
Yep.
I really don't.
Let's go back to the Yankees, Timmy, and I'm going to combine my prospect list, guys who can hit, and the Yankees Red Sox all melded together here. And it's with Joey Gallo. Now, Timmy, when he was in the minor leagues, we talked about him all the time. I never got it. I never could figure out. He's not a player I like to own because he strikes out too much.
Right.
And I knew he was going to have power. Everybody knew he was going to have power. And Timmy, he's had 240 home run seasons. And those years he hit 209 and 206, but he walked a lot, 330, 3 on base percentage. That's okay. But this year, as the Yankees have just been making people look like they're in the minor leagues, I mean, just blowing people away. He's got 9 home runs, which is okay. He's hitting 173. Yep. He's got a 13.5% walk rate. You know what that equates to? A 285 on base percentage. And he's striking out 39% of the time. And to make matters worse, he was interviewed a few days ago, and he said, look, I am the player that I am. I'm not going to change who that player is, who I am. I'm going to swing and swing for the fences because that's the player I am. And he said that before, Timmy. But I got to tell you, if I'm the Yankees, I'm sitting him, and they are starting to sit him. He is not playing full time anymore, and I'm questioning whether anybody's going to sign this dude come the off season. Like, why do you want to hire a guy who's A, got that attitude, and B, you're relying on this guy to walk 18% of the time to post a reasonable on base percentage, which hardly anybody in the league does. Explain all of this to me.
Well, one of the concerning things for me is, they are starting to, to sit Joey Gallo, but they're replacing him with Aaron Hicks, who's batting 223. That's not the answer either, at least not in my opinion. It's better
than Joey Gallo, Timmy. At least he makes more contact. He's a better defender. He's got more speed. Yeah, he could do more things.
Yeah, he can, but I still think they're, the Yankees would be a better club if they could improve on both those players, not just Gallo.
Don't you think they will?
I think it's entirely possible. Hey, it's fine, Joey Gallo. You've stated who you are. We know who you are. We've seen it. But if you're going to hit 40 home runs, 20 home runs a half, whatever, and bat 200. That's one thing. But if you're going to hit 18 to 20 home runs, you're gonna be looking for another job, because that level of production does not support all the baggage that comes along with it. And hey, I don't think Joey Gallo is headed for a big contract at all this offseason. I think he's, even if he lights, the world on fire over the next 3.5 months, hey, teams are going to remember the first half of this year, aren't they?
You know what is slugging, Timmy? 346.
I was going to say 410, but
346.
Yeah,
he slugged 458 last year. It's a guy who hit 38 home runs. He slugged 458. He's getting older. He's not that old, but he is getting older. The bat speed starts to slow down a little bit. It's just not a good recipe. And, if he were to come out and say, look, I'm trying to change my approach, I'm working hard. No. Came out and said, this is who I am. Deal with it. I'm like, dude, you need a marketing person to work with you. I mean, what are you doing?
Well, and you know what? The Yankees are saying, yeah, that's who you are. That's why you're on the bench.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a two-way street, right? He can make it. He can make his declaration, and the Yankees have, as his employer, have a right to make a decision that's best for their organization. And right now, I don't think Joey Gallo's it.
He should just count his lucky stars that the Yankees are just blowing people away, because otherwise the scrutiny would be all over on him, and it's not, because they're doing so well and they can hide a guy like that. Yeah, okay, well, he's doing poorly. Look, nobody cares at the moment, but if they get into a bit of a tailspin, Tim, the pressure's going to mount. Let's take a break, Timmy, and talk about when we get back to talk about all these injuries. That they're ugly.
Yeah, Gallo will bond.
Tim, Bryce Harper out at least until September. He's also got that elbow thing going on. Maybe decides to get it all fixed here at the same time. I don't know. Maybe we don't see him this year. But look, it's got plunked in the hand by Blake Snell. Fractures his hand. It's not good if you're an owner of. I mean, people heard me lament last week when I lost Manny Machado and I thought I lost Jordan Alvarez and blah 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 blah. It sucks, Timmy, when you lose one of your first round draft pick. You lost them.
Well, and I think if you go through and look at the teams that have, Bryce Harper on their roster, it's your top 5 teams in most leagues. I took a look at several of my leagues, and in Tote, the team in 5th points off the lead, he has Harper. In the XFL, the team in 2nd has Bryce Harper. That's a huge hit for contending teams. I don't think you'll find in most leagues Bryce Harper being rostered by the team that's in 14th place. That's not going to be the case, and that makes it even tougher.
Yeah. So what do you do, Timmy? I mean, I know you're going to say Mickey Moniak. Is he in the? I can't remember if he's in your waiver wire or not. But you know my feelings about him. I think he is at best a 4th outfielder. He doesn't have any speed anymore. He's got a little bit of pop, but he strikes out a ton. I mean, I don't know if that's the guy that you want to pick up.
Well, and he's going to be fighting for playing time with the likes of Odubel Herrera, right?
Is he a guy that's worth rostering?
Well, again, somebody has to play full-time right now in Philly, and you look at that team, they still have a very, very good team, but all of a sudden, you put Moniak into the roster, and he's going to play every day, and Herrera's going to shift to left field. Castellanos is in right. If he picks it up, that will definitely be a big help. The top of the lineup is still strong with Schwarber and Hoskins and Castellanos. Real Muto hasn't had a banner year, but good enough. What they need is Didi Gregorius and Alec Baum and Bryson Star. They need all of those players to step it up, and I don't know if there's enough in that bottom 5 to carry them. I made mention in my waiver wire of one player that I think could get a call, but maybe it's a little too early to discuss the waiver wire. But they got a kid that I that I'd be willing to toss a dart at, Rich.
All right, well, we'll wait till we get to the waiver. I brought up your 20-team league, Timmy, which plays positionally like a 12-team league, I think. So
yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, because it's an unlimited IL. I mean, there's a few players, that kind of get lost, but that are on roster that most leagues maybe wouldn't be. But let me give you a couple of names here at the top, and you let me know which one of these guys you might want to roster. The first one is Andrew McCutchen. Miles Straw, completely, in fact, the polar opposite player of Bryce Harper. Cole Calhoun, David Peralta, and Aaron Hicks. Any of those guys, what would you take a run at if you own Bryce Harper and you needed an outfielder in this league?
Oh, in this league, well, unfortunately, I would probably look at gambling on Robbie Grossman.
Okay, right further down. Okay.
Yeah, a player that I recommended on the waiver wire that might be worth sitting on for now in Corbyn Carroll.
Yeah, but he's not up yet.
He's not up yet. That's correct. G-Man Choi's playing on a semi-regular basis. He'll give you some pop and decent batting average.
But he's not outfield eligible.
Yes. You're complicating things, Rich.
I gave you the top. We just talked about Joey Gallo, who's available.
Yeah, he's available. Yeah.
So you can make the argument. Gallo? Yeah. Okay. Well, I just ripped him a new one, but you could go look. He's due. He's due. He's better player than this. I don't think he's going to hit 175 the rest of the way. If he hits 250 the rest of the way in an on-base percentage league, that's going to be 350 and probably get a lot of home runs. Would you be comfortable making that kind of logic?
I'd be more comfortable picking up Oscar Gonzalez.
That's a good one. Yeah. He's
available.
What's wrong with Andrew McCutchen? 6 home runs, 5 stolen bases.
Nothing wrong with Andrew McCutchen. If I was looking at a choice between McCutchen and Gonzalez, I'd probably go on the upside.
Go with Gonzalez, yeah.
Yeah, go on the upside potential there. Aaron Hicks, I have no interest in Aaron Hicks at all. Cole Calhoun will hit you a few home runs.
Well, he had his 3 weeks of fame, Timmy. He's gone back to being Cole Calhoun. Yeah.
Yeah. It's thin. It really is thin. When in doubt, I'd look at the upside. Joey Gallo could emerge from a season-long slump and hit a whole bunch of home runs for you. The potential is there. Yeah, when you look at some of the other choices, Gallo might be a decent gamble.
Yeah, it's funny. Funny how desperate times call for desperate measures.
Oh, yeah, desperate measures. Oh, yeah.
Because, if you fill it with an Andrew McCutchen or a Cole Calhoun, you pretty much know what you're going to get. And you've lost Bryce Harper, so why not try to roll the dice to try to get something that can really, really help you? And that might be a Corbyn Carroll. That could, but you need somebody to play. That could be a Joey Gallo, and hopes and prayers that he turns it around. I don't know what you do, Timmy. You're the better player. What would you do if you lost Bryce Harper?
If I had lost Bryce Harper and Oscar Gonzalez was available, I'd grab him right away.
Okay.
I'd spend money on Oscar Gonzalez because I think he's going to be a steady producer right through to the end of the season. He's not going to hurt you in batting average, I don't believe. He's going to pop some home runs. I rather like Gonzalez. I'm in the XFL. I took a chance on him, and he could end up being one of my protectables because I've got him at a situation where his salary only increases by $3 every year. So I could be looking at protecting Oscar Gonzalez, depending on what happens over the next couple of months.
Yeah, I've been writing about Oscar Gonzalez for a while, and glad to see that he's finally producing. Yeah. So, of course, I don't have him anywhere, but I've written about him. So there you go.
Well, Timmy, I've seen your prospect list. Okay, he's not good enough. Okay.
Yeah. So Sal Perez, Timmy. This kind of went under the radar a little bit, maybe because it happened midweek, but he's having UCL surgery. It was the same kind of surgery that pitchers have on their elbow on his thumb which you worry a little bit about when he does come back. Is he going to have the power going to be there? And that's what you have Sal Perez for. But obviously MJ Melendez gets a bump in playing time at catcher. That's great.